What's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolf. And this is the Fantasy Football Show. Yeah, we're coming to you. If I look like crap, it's because I feel like crap. I got sick yesterday, had to drive to Derek Carr's hometown all the way from Northern California. So I'm in Bakersfield right now. Jason has an ice storm. He had to fight through today. So a couple of rough day for the Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah.
And apparently I dodged a bullet being sick yesterday and traveling because I didn't have to watch that Thursday night football game.
Yeah, you're very fortunate. I kind of fell asleep a few times.
Jason, before we start, I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of out of it. But I was going to see if Jason would take a second and tell you guys how you can help this show.
Yes, you guys could definitely help us by subscribing to our channel. Once again, we have additional members. A little woot woot. Thank you guys. If you could give us some likes, we like the likes. We're like Mike and Ike's, but Mike and Ike's. And then leave some comments if you guys got any questions. We love interaction with you guys, good or bad. It don't matter. It's all fun. We love it. If you guys want to get some more content, please hit up the Instagram that we have, and the tag is The Fantasy Footballin' Show.
Thank you, Jason, for setting that up. I would say I was going to set up a TikTok, but apparently the U.S. government's going to ban it, so I don't feel like doing all the work. We'll see. Have you heard about that, Jason?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, man, it was all over Reddit last week, and I was tripping out. So we got to 50 subscribers finally, Jason. And I want to give a shout out to our 50th subscriber, MCXXXXX.
That's right.
I really am sick. But man, I see MCX. I just got to throw out some X's. Oh, okay.
He was our X Factor.
Well, our goal was 50, Jason, and now our next goal is 500,000, right?
Yeah. 500,000, next goal. Woo, let's go.
Hold the phone 30 years later. It's still probably not going to happen, but it's okay. We're just doing this for fun, guys, and you help. So, Jason, you just told me that you got to watch that football game last night.
Yes, unfortunately, I did. Going into this exciting matchup, of course, I think one of the things everybody was looking into was going to see Zach Wilson, right? This is the guy who's kind of the talk of the Jets right now, not in a good way, but in a negative way. So I wanted to see how he was going to perform. Also, I wanted to see, because of my player pause, I was keeping an eye out on Sauce Gardner. I wanted to see how he was going to play in this matchup. And then on the other side, I wanted to see if Trevor Lawrence was going to continue to put up those quarterback one numbers and help you through the fantasy playoffs. So, speaking of Zach Wilson, let's just say he only played a half. He only played the first half. He got booed out of the game. And for that first half, he was 9 for 18, 92 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 sack or 1 interception on 3 sacks. New York is they're kind of brutal. If they don't like something, they're gonna let you know. Next, you hear at the end of the second half, you just hear the boos. You start hearing the chants, Flacco, Flacco, Flacco. I'm like, oh man, that's not good. Well, they took out Zach Wilson, so I'm like, all right, bring in Joe Flacco. Garrett Wilson's about ready to have a monster game now. No, they brought in Chris Streveler.
Yeah, I think it's like Traveler almost, like Chris Streveler or something like that.
I mean, he looks like he's more of a runner, obviously, than anything, because he was 10 for 15 for 90 yards, but he also rushed the ball 9 times for 54 yards. I don't think he's the answer either. If you saw how this guy was throwing the ball, it was absolutely horrible. I was like, how does this guy's mechanics even exist the way he was throwing this ball? It was awful. So he's going to be a Tim Tebow, right? He's going to be the running quarterback. I don't think he's going to be the answer. The Jets quarterback situation right now without Mike White looks horrible.
Sorry, Jason, but that's so funny, man. Because I was thinking like, oh man, I want a piece of this guy. And then I know I shouldn't say this, but I saw this guy was white, and I was like, oh, Tim Tebow, dude. And he's like white and buff, and I was like, man, I don't want any Team Tebow. And then I saw it's his third season as well. So, but he was, from what I saw today, because I did go through some news when I wasn't feeling terrible. He was a preseason like superstar, so I thought that was interesting. But there's no way, dude. I wonder if Joe Flacco was Joe Flacco there? Or was he a healthy scratch last game?
You know what? I think he was there, but I don't think they saw a point of putting him in the game at that point. It was also a little bit, it was raining that game. That could have had a factor in some decision with putting in this Chris guy. I'm thinking they either trying to get this guy some experience. Maybe they saw something in the game plan. If next week, I think Zach Wilson is done. I don't think they're going to be bringing that full back. If Mike White can't play, I won't be surprised if they have Joe Flacco starting.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Zach Wilson and the Strevler guy probably kind of have like similar game plan, motion out, throw in the run type of stuff, where Flacco and Mike White are like the same game plan. So I could see that happening. And then, yeah, dude, that was, did you see if it was raining the entire game?
It rained for most of the game. Yeah.
Okay, because I had to do I checked out the weather report and I set it on my thing, and it said it was supposed to be 15-mile-an-hour winds and rain the entire time. And I was like, dude, there's no way in hell you're going to start Zach Wilson. But I thought the disappointing thing was, so yeah, like the biggest takeaway I got from this game is that he is the biggest bust since Jamarcus Russell, or maybe Ryan Leaf. I do think that he will get an opportunity somewhere else. Maybe the Rams, dude. Like, who knows? But I think that's it for Zach Wilson of the Jets.
Yeah, watching the game, he even his play actions look bad. Doing the play action, I'm like, dude, you ain't faking out nobody. It was just like Aaron Rodgers is great at play action. Like the way he sells it, this guy looked pathetic even when he was trying. And his throws to his receivers were so off target. 9 for 18, right? Only 92 yards. I don't think he has a career in the New York Jets system. I think he needs to go somewhere where there's going to be a coach that can help develop him more offensively, better throwing tactics. I don't think he's going to get that on the Jets.
But that's a Shanahan system, so and then, so as I was saying, the Rams, so at least maybe McVay thinks that, he already knows the system, maybe we can get more out of him. But it's like, dude, they were talking about 3 weeks ago how he needs to go back to his footwork is off, like his plant foot isn't even in the ground when he throws and all this stuff. And then you watch that game and it's like, yeah, dude, it looks like something is fundamentally wrong with that guy. I only got to watch I watched the ESPN highlights, which I haven't done in 3 years today on my parents' TV. And yeah, I showed 10 throws. All of them were dude, it wasn't even close, man. And all the Jets or all the Jaguars were all upset because they weren't intercepting him, because he was just throwing right to him. Mm-hmm. So, dude, it's a defensive coach right now. As long as Robert's solid, dude, there's no way he's coming back next year.
Yeah, he's a young dude, and he's getting booed out of the stadium. He's getting benched for his remarks. He also, just like you said, the fundamentals are not there. Mentality is probably not there. He's probably struggling right now in all aspects of the game and the life. It's just isn't his season, and he's probably not going to play the rest of the season. I'd be very surprised if he's on the Jets next year.
Oh, sorry, Jason. I've been holding all my coughs because I don't want to do it when you're talking.
I get it. I've been coughing for 2 weeks.
Dude, it's ridiculous right now. So yeah, dude. But I said, so the Jaguars have been allowing 32 points per game in the last 3 games, which is only behind, I think it was Indianapolis. Can't remember. So, Zach Wilson against a team that's been allowing 32 points per game just got 3 points. And I thought you could start Zonovan Knight. I thought they were going to run the ball all over. I thought they were like going to protect themselves and just run it. They only ran the ball 20 times, dude. They threw the ball 33 times. And I know those rushes were that Stevler guy, so it's like they had 0 run game for like the first time in a while.
Right. Well, see, I'm trying to hold in coughs too. Right. So also part of that reason is when you keep going on 3 and outs, right? I think by the first half, Zach Wilson only had like 2 or 3 first downs. It's hard to get the running game going, giving them opportunities when you can't convert on a first down and giving the running backs more opportunities. Also, penalties were killing the Jets. Anytime they would do a little something good, there was like a holding and put them back far behind the line of scrimmage. I said to start the Jaguars just because of Zach Wilson. Like, the Jets cannot really put up numbers, and Zach Wilson is like what we're talking about. He's just not all there right now. I thought Knight was going to have a good game too, but it looked like they were just like, you know what? Let's just focus on stopping the run and like see if Zach Wilson could beat us through the air. And it looks like the Jaguars got the better end of that.
Well, they're one of their starting. So I thought of that too, but I was like, dude, the Jaguars are missing not Thibodeau. God dang it, I can't remember the rookie they drafted from Georgia. Anyways, they were missing him and their starting defensive tackle. So I was like, oh man, like the Jets are just going to run it. They did. They must. I didn't get to watch the game, like I said, but they must have done a great job against the run, because that they did not want to let Zach Wilson throw the ball 18 times.
Yeah,
that was in the first half. You said, right?
Yeah, it was like the third quarter, early third quarter, where they took out Zach Wilson.
All right. So since we're covering this, though, Zach Wilson, I said was going to get like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns because I was like, the points are going to have to come from somewhere. I thought it was like he was just going to throw it to Garrett Wilson a bunch and stuff like that. He got nothing. So I was very wrong about that. I said to start Zonovan Knight. No, I said to sit Zach Wilson, though. So, and I said to start Zonovan Knight, and I thought he was going to get like 100 total yards, dude, just like between everything. I thought he was going to run the ball like 28 times, but nope. That was very wrong. And then I said to start Garrett Wilson. He only went 4 for 30, but he got the targets. And that's what I was really chasing, was the opportunity. And then I thought Elijah Moore, man, I've been chasing. Elijah Moore's been doing really well. I think I said to not play Elijah Moore. Yeah, I said to pause Elijah Moore. I'm glad I did, but I didn't think he was going to do this bad. So, and then Corey Davis, got 7 targets. So he's back. I thought he was almost not going to play. So
yeah, Michael Carter looks like he led with 5 receptions for 44 yards. Yeah, what I was going to go after that is that when you're only completing 19, you only have 19 completions out of your 2 quarterbacks, and most of them are going to your running back Michael Carter. There's not a lot of opportunities left on the field for the wide receivers. Garrett Wilson, 9 targets. That's awesome. He also had a fumble loss, which sucks. I don't know if you saw it, but he got tackled, or he was like breaking a tackle, and the guy he broke the tackle, his foot went up, kicked the football out.
Oh, no way.
So even something like that, he still gets -2 points. If you really think about it, on both sides, this was a defensive game. There was only 1 touchdown scored in this game. Luckily, it was by Trevor Lawrence. He had a rushing touchdown. I say that just because I said play Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence did have a fumble earlier in the game, so they both had turnovers. But in our league, he still ended up with 18 points because he threw the ball for 229 yards and he ran 7 times for 51 yards. But going off of that, like I said, defensive game, there wasn't really a lot going on. It was the kicker for Jacksonville, and luckily Trevor Lawrence got the rushing touchdown, and that was it.
they didn't have to do much, like they didn't need Trevor Lawrence to throw the ball more than 31 times. They ran it 39 times and they used everybody to run the ball. So it just man, the Jets weren't putting any pressure on the Jaguars to score points, so they didn't do anything. Did you notice who Sauce Gardner was on? Because it looks like both Zay Jones and Christian Kirk kind of had bad games, but I would assume that he covered Zay Jones.
Oh, he didn't stick to either one of them. He just took one side of the field.
So that's more of a Richard Sherman type of lockdown corner.
Yeah, he just took care of one side of the field, and whoever lined up across from him, he just locked them down. And I think because of that, we have Zay Jones and Christian Kirk like switching back. Who's in the slot? Who's running the slot right now and killing it for the Jacksonville? Ingram. Ingram with 7 receptions, 113 yards, and 8 targets.
Dude, I haven't checked. I was gonna say I haven't checked his score. He's got to be like a top 3 tight end over the last month.
This is why they picked him up, right? This is why he was even drafted to begin with, because everyone loved his skill set and his ability. This is what people were actually hoping for in the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, it's taken some time for Jacksonville to actually get their roll on with Trevor Lawrence and ETN and Evan Ingram. But luckily, it's happening during the playoff time for fantasy football.
Man, Jason almost died right there. Yeah, dude. So over the last 3 games, 15 targets, 10 targets, 8 targets, 2 touchdowns against Tennessee that one time. But yeah, you know what? I was thinking that if you could almost stack Trevor Lawrence, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram and win the championship. But then after this game, that's not gonna. If you start as Zay Jones, you probably didn't get to the championship. But next week, I do think that you can stack them, no problem.
Yeah, this was a situation. I said to pause Zay Jones, but I also, because of that, I said to start Christian Kirk. And Christian Kirk did get 6 targets, but he only had 3 receptions for 22 yards.
I saw that. Oh man. So
yes. Zay Jones only got 1 reception out of 4 targets.
And Travis Etienne, dude, they've been giving him the ball nonstop.
Yeah, he had 22 carries and he had 3 receptions. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage. This is a guy that, like I said, the Jacksonville Jaguars started the season slow, but other players that people were picking up for fantasy are starting to come to light now. And this is a good time when you're in the fantasy playoffs.
Well, my preseason prediction was my top stack that wouldn't ruin your league, Jason, was Trevor Lawrence and Evan Ingram.
Yep.
I got a lot of other stuff wrong, but I'll brag about that one thing. A lot more wrong than probably right, but I do want to say, so ETN, people were really worried about him for a while. He had those, I think he got injured. It was like 2 carries versus Baltimore. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. The next week he got 13 carries, then he got 17 carries, then 19 carries, and now 22 carries. So if I was a ETN owner, I know you're starting him regardless next week anyways if you have him, but you can feel really confident that he'll at least get opportunities from this, because you weren't confident in ETN's opportunities like a large chunk in the middle of the year, and now it looks like that's kind of came back to steady whatever.
Yeah. He's fight it.
I've got my nose is running, man, and I'm like,
All right, well, we're pretty much gone over. It wasn't a huge game. We pretty much gone over everybody that was like irrelevant or relevant to the game. You have something?
What was your best call? Probably wasn't much. Probably was Trevor Lawrence.
I said to play Evan Ingram and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Were those the only 2 that you actually picked?
I did say pause ETN.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing though, dude, against the Jets. So Especially with, ET, like I said, ET hasn't been getting a ton of opportunity as of late, but after this game, I think it's a big deal. He got 22 carries against the Jets. And then remember
Yeah,
Ty Johnson, dude?
yeah, he was there for a little bit.
I don't know why they're mixing up all the running back carries on the Jets now. It's kind of upsetting because Zonovan Knight was, getting people through the playoffs. And now it's like you don't even want to start anybody from this, dude. It's such a cluster.
I'm pretty sure they were just resting Knight when they got to a certain point.
Right. And I would bet money that this Chris Strebler guy threw all of his passes to Michael Carter. Like Michael Carter probably didn't I because Zach Wilson, like a huge problem for the Jets is the running backs not catching passes for the last like 2 seasons, ever since Zach Wilson's in there. And then Mike White or Joe Flacco, they get like 10 targets a game. And I just saw this at Michael Carter. It would be his best game with Zach Wilson, but that's got to be the Chris Strebler guy that came in. I do know that Conklin was getting targeted early because I said to sit Conklin, and I was pretty nervous about it. But if you started Conklin, you got 5 points, so or in a half PPR, and that's pretty good for a tight end.
You got to do better when it comes to playoffs. You got to do better.
Well, the thing is like, I was just watching like Mike Clay, dude, because I've got ESPN now, and he's like, "Man, who do you say to pick up?" He's all, "Pick up Darius Slayton this week," and I'm like, "Dude, if you like made it to the championship, you're not picking up Darius Slayton, like." I don't know. I don't understand these people's logic about trying to pick up people when it's like if you made it to the championship, you have like a roster full of studs. So it's like, why are you trying to like do this crap? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I do like Mike Clay though. I do. I like Mike Clay. I don't know if you ever watch that ESPN stuff anymore, Jason.
No.
Because it's like those videos on our app now because we use ESPN app. I hate most of it. It sounds like most of it's just like clickbait and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But I do like Mike Clay. He's the guy that comes up to all the projections for that you hate so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
Are you a projection slave, Jason?
Projections are just mental games.
I always feel better when I'm projected higher for some reason though. I'm like, this makes me feel good.
Yeah. That's the mental game. Oh, I'm projected 120 points. I'm going to win, but yet my team only gets 60.
Hey, I noticed that you weren't drinking.
Well, if you're not going to do it, I wasn't. This probably be a good time for me to start trying to feel better too, since I've been coughing for the past 2 weeks.
Well, man, like some of this, like the cough drops and stuff that I'm getting from my parents, it feels like there's alcohol on it. So maybe I am a little buzzed right now. Jason's wife made us glasses with our fantasy football and show emblem on it. So I was really pumped up to drink out of those today. I was gonna bring them with me, but then I was so sick, dude. I didn't bring anything, so didn't matter. And to all of our listeners out there, no matter what you believe, happy holidays. Hope you guys have a great time this weekend. Or I don't know if all the holidays line up. I'm pretty sure they're all like within the half a month or something like that. And Jason, what Christmas movie are you gonna watch?
Die Hard.
Dude, I'm like really pushing for that. There's this Clause, it's like with a K on Netflix. That's supposed to be really good. I've never seen it, but I'm gonna try to watch that. Christmas Vacation. Ray hates Christmas Vacation for some reason. I'm gonna try to watch it.
Interesting. When I
Sorry,
came home, Brittany was watching The Grinch.
which one? The cartoon, like the new animated one? What?
Jim Carrey.
So I was just watching a thing about Jim Carrey during that movie because like he had to get trained by CIA operatives like on how to not like a downward spiral like when you're covered in that costume, like I guess you could really freak out and it gets worse and worse and worse. And so he had to like do all this stuff, but it was mostly smoking cigarettes. Have you ever seen that picture of him smoking a cigarette as the Grinch? It's pretty awesome because it's like it's him on set, but that's the only way that he could stay sane. And I guess it was a big risk, catching all that yak fur on fire. So like it was really risky for him to be smoking all these cigarettes. It was crazy. Like he said he did it for the kids. I like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He said he retired from acting. I hope that's not the case because every time he does a role, he goes all out, and I love it. I'm supposed to go watch Avatar tomorrow.
Are you or is it too icy?
We gotta just play it by ear.
I saw Kate Winslet's in that movie.
Yeah, she broke for holding her breath underwater the longest, 7 minutes and 14 seconds.
So that was real? Okay, because I saw that on Reddit and I just figured that was a joke or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, well, she has all that ice water training from like she was just like she survived on top of what like an old dresser for like a day or something like that out in the freezing water.
yeah, door.
Yeah, that selfish biatch, man. She could have there there was more room for Jack on that thing.
So James Cameron said he's gonna do a scientific video to prove that Jack was not able to fit on the door.
So he knows what people are saying and he's gonna try to prove it wrong.
Yeah, James Cameron can't be wrong. He's a genius.
All right, guys. So speaking of James Cameron, if you have not watched the original Alien, go watch the original Alien.
Also, do the one that he directed in Alien 2.
Did he direct the first one? No, Ridley Scott did the first one. Did he? So he did Alien 2?
He did Aliens.
Which one? So Ridley Scott did Alien 1, Alien 2.
Isn't Alien
Alien
2?
2 is Aliens.
Yeah.
And that movie was amazing. Dang, man. I could have swore I forgot that was a Ridley Scott film, that original one. Oh,
Because remember, then he did Prometheus, which is basically a prequel to Alien.
yeah, I love the Prometheus movies. Except the second one sucked. Dude, we watched the worst movie of all time today. And we all thought we watched it before, but apparently not. Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, dude. Might be the worst movie of all time.
You don't like Topher Grace or you don't like Tobey Maguire's little dance move?
Well, he's like in the blues. He's like in a blues club, and he's like, "Dig this," and all the women are like going to him, and he's got super emo hair.
Yeah.
I was like, we could not believe that was the same movie. Oh, that made it out. No wonder that was the last movie. And then that's the same director in every single one of those. So like, I don't know what happened in that third one. But dude, my parent, when he's walking down the street, that is the craziest. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I saw that in theaters, and I was laughing because I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
Yeah, there's like too much CGI in that too, as far as like Venom and everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, caught up on pop culture, Jason.
I like these current events. Actually, that's not very current. I like these past events.
Yeah. So again, sorry for the jumbled episode, but I mean I think Jason's coughing. I feel like crap. And plus we're not in our normal places. I'm not. I mean, Jason's just gotta like do Wim Hof breathing to stay alive in the freezing cold. That's a famous guy that does a bunch of ice water breathing.
Oh, I know.
Say it. Okay, say it again then. Say his name.
And Anne Hathaway.
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof. Wim Hof Hathaway.
Wim Hof Hathaway. I do want to say that Snoop Connor, I thought he was a backup quarterback for the Ravens. And I didn't know he was a running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did you know that?
I think he was there. He was there for the kneel down.
Because I've heard about him before. They thought maybe he got some work a while ago, but anyways, Jason, I'm gonna call this.
Yeah.
Thank you for meeting up with me on short notice.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Hopefully, you made it to the end, past the fantasy parts where the stuff gets really juicy about James Cameron, Avatar, Aliens, Kate Winslet. Please subscribe. Please give us some likes, comments, Instagram, That Fantasy Footballin' Show. We're here for you. We are here for you.
Thank you, Jason. That was good. All right, guys. I am traveling on Monday, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the regular episode. That might be a day late, but we'll figure that out. So, all right. Thank you so much, guys. 51 and 52nd subscriber. Hey, you're amazing. Thank you so much. See you later.